do a VLOOKUP using macros. So VLOOKUP using macros. Then we saw how to create department-wise sheets, then data consolidation, error handling, and finally we saw cross-application macros. We had send a mail through Outlook from Excel. So this is the code for that, right? Okay, these are the statements for selecting the sheets. Either you can select the sheet by using the index number, or we can use a name to select the sheet. This is for adding the sheet, then rename it, delete it, then take the total count of sheets in the workbook. And this is a statement for doing a lookup using macros, right? Now today's topics are, we are going to look at something called as user forms, then add-ins, then finally we'll do a assignment. Okay. Now last time we had seen that when we wrote the program of data entries, we got the inputs from the user, right? But for getting the inputs from the user, we had used something called as input box, right? Input box are used to get the inputs from the user. But you'll see that in an input box, you can get only one value at a time. So if I want, say, 10 inputs, I should be using 10 input boxes statements, right? So that can be very time consuming and irritating to the user. So if you want to get multiple inputs at the same time, we also have something called as a user form. The user form can be used to get multiple inputs from the user at the same time. So for inserting a user form, the process is similar. Like you can insert a module, you can go to either insert tab and click on user form, or you can also right click on any module and select insert and select user form. Okay, you can use whichever method you feel is convenient. So click on the insert tab and select user form. The moment you select a user form, you will get an interface like this. And just next to the interface, you will also get something called as a toolbox. Now suppose accidentally you close the toolbox, you can again display it by going to view and selecting toolbox. Okay, it will display the same set of controls. Now this particular interface is used to design the user form. Okay, so for designing the user form, you have all the controls here. Now if I keep my mouse on that control, it will show you what that control is. So the first one is, this is the for selecting the objects. The second, where you can see that a return, that is a label. Then you have text box, combo box, check boxes, radio buttons. If you come to the next line, you can see there is a command button, then multi-page interfaces. You can also insert images, right? Now what I want to do is I want to create a user form which will get the post department salary from the user. For that, we will be designing an interface. So I need some labels here. So I'll click on this Control A, where you can see it is showing label control. I just click on that, come back to the user form, and again click on that. So that will create a control called as label. Now suppose I want to create multiple labels. One method is I can now copy and paste this, or you double click on this A control and come back to the user form and go on clicking on the location where you want the label to be created. Okay, you can create as many labels as you want. Once you created all the labels, come back to the control again, click it, and the selection will be removed. Okay. Now if I run this user form, I can click on this run button. On the top you can see. If I click on that, it will be displayed on the screen. So you can see how the user form is displayed. Now writing label 1, label 2, label 3, it might be confusing to the end user. So what you can do is we can rename this. And how do you rename it? By going to the properties window. So I'll click on this label 1. As soon as I click label 1, you can see in the properties window, we have something called as name equal to label 1. Now name is how the program identifies the control. So ideally this should not be changed. What you change is the caption property. So if you come down, you can see there is a caption property here. So what are you write in this caption property that will be displayed to the user. Okay, so instead of label 1, I'll remove it and rename it as EMP code. Then select the second label. We'll name the caption property as, say, name. Label 3 is, you can also do it along with me. Label 3 is, say, post. 4 is department. Label 5 is salary. HRA, TA, and then we'll also have a gross also. So for the gross, I need one more label. So this will be the gross. So total we have 8 labels. So now if I run the user form displayed on the screen, it will look like this. Okay. Now this is only labels. Now we need to display the text boxes. So all these controls except department will be text boxes. Okay. For the department, we'll display a combo box. So for I want to have multiple text boxes. So I'll double click on this control of ABC, come back to the user form and then just click. So this is the first text box. Second one for name, post, salary, HRA. We'll do the formatting afterwards. Then again come back to the toolbox and click on that. Now see the alignment of this employee code, it is not correct. So what I can do is just drag the mouse through all the controls of the labels. Then click on format, align and select left. So if I select left, all the controls will be aligned to the left hand side of all the controls. Likewise, I'll select these text boxes, go to format, align, left. You can resize the user form if you want. You can design it in any manner. Now for the department, we'll have a combo box. So select that combo box control. We just need one combo box. So single click, come back to the user form, again click. Again, you can change the alignment if you want. Format, align to the left. If you want to drag it, just select both the controls. You can align it to the middle so that the label and this control, they are clearly aligned. Format, align to the middle, and then just drag it up.
How to keep all the boxes all in the same size?
See, just click on that. Simply click. So the moment you click, by default, it will take the same size. Don't drag it, do nothing. Just do a single click and the size will be same. See, I'll show it on the screen. Suppose I want a text box. You click on this ABC, come back to the user form, just do a single click and the size will remain same. Okay, by default, you have a specific size, so it will come on that particular size.
Okay, we don't need to drag, right?
No, nothing. Just do a single click, that's it. Now if I display it on the screen, you see the form looks like this. Okay. Now suppose I can enter the employee code, name. We can resize the box of name if you want. Then post. But when I double click on this department, you will see that it is empty. Then salary. So it needs to calculate the HRA, T and gross automatically. Okay. We'll also have some buttons because we need to save these values in the Excel sheet. So we need some buttons for that. So buttons are this command button. On the second layer, you can see second option. Just double click on that. We need 3 buttons. So this is 1, 2 and 3. Okay. And how do you rename it? You go to the properties window and change the caption property. So the first one will be calculation. I'll also change the name property because there are multiple command buttons here. So I need to know which is a command button to calculate. So the first one will be, say, calc button, calc underscore button. You can give any name. Second one is save or submit. Will name it as save button, save underscore button. And the third one is, say, exit. And we'll name it as, we'll change the name property of this as exit button. We can also align these buttons. Press Control and click on the other buttons. First you select one button, press Control and click on the other button. So all the buttons will be selected. Then you go to Format, Align to the top. Okay. So everything will be in the same topmost border. Suppose I want to resize the buttons. For example, the calculation button. You select it, and in the properties window, if you scroll down, you can see top is 210. Top means from the top border of the user form. It is at the position of 210 pixels. Okay, in a user form it will be always pixels. Then width is 72 pixels. So if you want to decrease or increase it, you can do it in the properties window. So now right now I made it say 50. You can also manually type it. Even the save button will make it 50. So everything will be in the same size. Then I will make the horizontal spacing equal. Click on Format, horizontal spacing, make equal. Okay, it is already equal. We can also change the background color of the user form. So if you want to change the background color of the user form, just click anywhere outside the controls on the user form. Make sure that in the properties window, the name is user form 1. That means the user form is selected. Then below the name property, you have something called as a back color. If you keep your mouse on that back color, you'll get a drop down. Click on the drop down and you select palette. And from here you can select any color that you want. Even the labels will change the color of that. Same color, palette, and I have selected a light blue color. Okay. We can change the color of the buttons also. The method is same. Select the button, click on that back color, palette, so this is how the form will look. Okay.
How to make the box, empty box, aligned to the employee code, which is strict.
Huh. You select all the controls, then you go to Format. See, select all the, just drag the mouse through the controls.
Okay.
So you'll see all the controls are selected. Or you can also click on a single control, then press Shift or Control and click on the other controls. Even that will do. Then you go to Format, Align, align to the left. So everything will be aligned along the left side of that control.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, even now, when I display the user form, you'll see that the department is not getting populated. Okay, and even if I click on this calculation button, nothing happens because we are not written the program as to what should happen when you click on those buttons. Okay, now we'll write the program for that. Now the designing part is over. Now we need to write the program behind that. Okay. Now the process of displaying the user form on the screen is called as initialization. Okay. The moment I display it on the screen, this particular process is called as initialization. Now the combo box should be populated when the user form is displayed on the screen, right?
Yes.
Now what is the name of this combo box? The name of the combo box is combo box 1. You can see on the properties window. The properties window will always show the name and other properties of that particular control. Now, when I double click on the user form, we'll get a code window here. We'll see something like private sub user form click. Because I clicked on the user form, it is showing the property of user form click. Now this particular code window or subroutine, this is a subroutine, but this subroutine is only available for the user form. That is why you can see this word here, private. You can't call this user form or this module or subroutine in some other module. You can't call it. Okay, this is available only for the user form. So that is why you see this word private here. Like you have a click property. You have many properties for the user form. You have a double click property, you have an entry property, you have an exit property. Now suppose I want to see all the properties of the user form. On the right hand side, you can see there is a click option here and you have a drop down. If I click on the drop down, it is going to show me all the properties of user form. Okay. Now these properties will change according to the control that you have selected. If I select a text box, then the properties will be different. Fine. So if you scroll through the properties, you will see there is a option called as initialize. So double click on that. Click on the drop down. Then select the initialize property and double click. The moment you double click, you will get one more option, code window called as private sub user form initialize. So what do you write in this user form initialize will be deactivated or it will run when the user form is displayed on the screen. So when the user form is displayed on the screen, I want the combo box to be populated. So I will write combo box 1 dot add item. And what do I want to add? I want to add the department. So this is the first department that I want. Then just copy paste this and change the department name. So we have administration, then say accounts and finance. Then say HR. Now if I run this user form, and if I click on this drop down of department, you can see that it is getting populated. Okay. But still, if I click on this calculate button, nothing is going to happen because we are not written the program for calculation here. Okay. Now if I click on this calculation button, you see that nothing happens. Now, where should the program for calculation be written? When I click on this calculation button, the program should be written behind that. Okay. So how will you go to the code window? Just double click on this calculation button and it will open that code window again for you. And here you can see it is showing private sub calc button. So the programming statement for calculation should be written here. Okay. Now what should be the calculation? When I click on the calculate button, it should display the HRA, TA and gross or what are salaries.
Sir, after writing the program, what we need to do? It will automatically come under the department or?
No, which one? To populate the combo box?
Yeah.
Did you double click on the user form?
Yes.
And you'll go to the code window.
Yeah, I have written the code.
Now
After
you just run the form. Just click on the top. You can see there is a play button. Just click on the play button. That form will be displayed on the screen.
I'm getting runtime error 424 object to it.
Just check the name of the combo box. It is combo box 1.
Okay.
Or in your case, it might be different. It might be combo box 2. Depends on how many times you have clicked on that particular control.
Okay, now it's coming. Yeah.
Fine.
Sir, how we are come to know whether this error, so this will be the problem. So
see, when you run it, it will display an error on that particular statement. It will be highlighted in a yellow color.
Okay, that means there is
something.
Okay.
That means there is something wrong with that particular statement.
Got it.
Even when you debug it, it will show an error on that particular statement. Okay?
Yes. Okay.
So now we have this form. Now we need to do the calculation, and the calculation should come in the when you click on the calc button. Okay. Double click on the calc button, and you'll come to this code window. Now first I'm going to define some variables because in the user form you will see that you have a text box in front of salary. So when you have a text box, even if you enter the value as numerical value, it will be considered as a text. The value will be entered as a text. And if you try to do some calculations on a text value, it will either give an error or the result will be different. If you have text boxes, let us say, if I have a text box and I have entered 1 and 1 in 2 text boxes, and if I add it, it will not give me 2, it will give me 1, 1. Okay, so this can give a wrong result. So what we'll do is, before we do calculations on the text boxes, we'll convert them to numerical values. So how do you convert that into numerical values? What you do is, you define some number.
Before that, I have a doubt. If I select the same calculation button, so I am getting private sub command button 1.
Right. That is correct. Absolutely right. Because I have renamed that command button as calc button in the name property. I am getting it as calc button click.
Okay.
If you are not renamed it, you will get it as command button 1, command button 2, command button 3 like that. Okay. So because that can be confusing, you can rename that name button, that button if you want.
Because all the 3 are command button, right?
Yeah,
So
all the
that
three are
we need
command
to.
button. Yeah, first one
Yeah.
is a calculation button. Second is
Okay.
for saving. Third is
Saving.
for
Yeah.
exiting. You can rename it
Okay.
if you want. You can give any name.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Then you double click on that calculation button. Now we are going to define some variables. So we need 4 variables here. One variable for storing the salary. Then we need a HRA, TA and gross. So I'll say dim salary as long. I'm defining it as a long variable because salary can be more than say 33,000. Okay, if you define it as an integer, the maximum value it can take is 33,000. So we'll define it as a long. Even HRA TADA will define it as long. HRA as long, TA as long, and even gross long. Long means you are defining a numerical variable. Now, where is this salary stored? We need to check the text box. So salary is getting stored in my user form in text box 4. Okay, you can see the name property. When I select the text box that is in front of salary, we are getting the name as text box 4. HRA is text box 5. TA is text box 6 and gross is text box 7. We can also rename it if you want. Okay. So salary is text box 4. So here I'll write salary equals text box 4 dot value. So what this will do is, even if the value is entered in a text format, when I say salary equal to text box 4 dot value, it will be converted to a numerical format because here I have defined salary as long. Long means it will store numbers. Now once it is stored as a numerical in a numerical format, I can do the calculations on that. So to do the calculations, I'll write HRA equals whatever percentage. So I'm taking 0.4, that is 40% multiplied by salary. So this will give me the HRA value. Likewise, TA will calculate as 20%, that is 0.2, either 2 by 100 or 0.2. You can't type 20%. You can't have the percent symbol. So this will give me the salary value. And gross will be what? Plus HRA plus TA. Now we have only the calculation. Displayed in, let us see the text boxes. HRA should be displayed in, gross should be in text box 7, and TA should be in text box 6. That is all in a sequence. HRA is in text box 5. So we'll write now the opposite way. Text box 5 dot value equals HRA. Then I'll just copy paste this. Six will be. See, my text box values and your text box values might be different. It depends on how, in which sequence you have created it. So 7 is so we are doing all the calculations and putting those calculated values in the respective text boxes. Okay, I'll copy and paste it if you want in the chat box.
Sir,
Now,
how to find the text box value? Whether by clicking it and showing the same name, right? Text box 4, text box 5. Property only,
correct,
right?
correct. Just click
According
on
to,
that
we need
control.
to, yeah.
Just click on the control. It will show you what is the name of that.
Okay. Based on that, we need to make it
Right.
here, right?
Right.
Can you 1 minute hold on so that I will also do it?
My text box numbers and your text box numbers might be different. So make sure that you are.
Yes. Yes. We can, after writing a formula, we can make it a description, right? Text box 5 equal to HRA, like that. That is not an issue, right?
Yeah. Now if I run it, so I'm entering the employee code first, then name, then post. Now if I click on the department, you can see it is getting populated. Then I'll enter the salary as say 25,000. Now when I click on the calculation button, it should display the HRA gross. But now when I click on the save button, nothing is going to happen, okay? Because we are not written the program for that. So before we write the code for the save button, we'll have the headers on this EMP info. I have a sheet called as EMP info. So we need the employee code, full name, then post, department, okay. Now what are employee code I enter in this user form, that should come in A2, then after that in A3, A4, A5, like that.
Sir, we need to write a save exit formula, right? Or
Right. We need to write, like we have written the code for calculation, we need to write the code for saving also, saving and exiting. Okay. Now the code for programming statement for saving should be written when I click on the save button. So double click on the save button and it will open the same code window, but in a different module, different subroutine. Okay. Now I want the cell to be here in A2, right? Suppose I already have some records here. Next time when I enter the records, it should come to the next blank cell. Okay. So how will you make sure that the cell comes to this particular cell position? You can go down, come up, then come one row down, like we have done it for the data entries. Okay. Same logic, we can also use it here. So first I need to select the sheet. So in my case, my sheet is EMP info.
This is also your writing formula in user forms.
The info is a sheet. I already have a sheet called as EMP info. So here,
Okay.
I inserted a blank sheet, renamed it as EMP info. If I don't select the sheet as ENP info, it will put the data in whichever active sheet is, whichever sheet is activated. In that it will put the information.
Okay, but how private sub save hyphen button click that one is covered. That is from by selecting the user form, right?
You double click on the user form. See, like we double clicked on the calculation, it took me to the calculation button. Likewise,
Yes.
you double click on that save button, it will take you to this particular module.
Okay, save button.
You have 3 buttons, right?
Yeah.
The second one is a save button.
Okay.
So EMP info dot select. Okay. Now in this EMP info, I want to go to the next blank cell. So for that, I'll write range 8 10 lakh 48 576 dot select. Then active cell dot end Excel up because I want to go up. Active cell dot end Excel up dot select. Then we need to do a offset. Offset 1,0. So this will make sure that your cell is on that next row after the last record. So this is going to be my active cell, right? So what should be displayed in the active cell? The employee code. And where is the employee code? In the user form, it is in text box 1. So we just need to put the value that is in the text boxes in the respective cells. So here I will write active cell dot value equals text box 1 dot value. And where should be the name? In the next cell, that is offset of active cell. So I'll write active cell dot offset 0,1 dot value equals. Next what I want is name. Name is in my case text box 2. Now I can just copy and paste this. No need to write the active cell offset again and again, and just change the offset number. So one will be name. Offset 2 will be text box 3, because in text box 3 I have the post. Offset 3 will be combo box, because department is in a combo box. Combo box 1 dot value. Then 4 will be text box 4. 5 is I think HRA. So if you want, you can cross check it. Employee code is active cell Full name will be active set offset 01, post is 02, department 03, basic 04, 05, 06, 07. Gross will be 07. So this will be 5. 5 is HRA, 6 is TA, and text box 7 is gross. Okay. Now once the data is saved in the Excel sheet, I no longer require it on the user form. So I need to clear the user form before the next entry is done. So for clearing it, it is very simple. You just write text box 1 dot value equals 2 times double quotes, so that previous value will be cleared. Okay, and then just copy paste it. We'll clear the combo box also. So that will be combo box 1 dot value equals now if I run it, it should do the calculations, and when I click on the save button, it should save the record in the Excel sheet. Okay, I'll just run it once, then I'll copy and paste the statements in the chat box. So now you can see it has done the calculations. If I click on the save button, it should give me the entire records. Now you'll see the advantage is that I don't have to put this program in a loop. Okay, I just need to enter one more record. After I click on the save button, you'll see the previous values are cleared. And I just need to enter one more record, click on calculations, then click on save. Okay, you don't have to put it in a loop. And when I click on the exit button, it will automatically come out of the program. Okay. Okay. Now for closing the user form, either you can click on this cross here, or you can also click on the exit button. Now when I click on the exit button, nothing is going to happen because we are not written the program for exiting, right? So double click on that exit button. It will take you to the different subroutine. There is only one word to exit. You just write end. The moment you write end, it will come out of the user form. Now if I just click on the exit button, it will come out of the user form. This program that I copying is for the save button. Okay.
Sir, yes, sir. 1 minute.
Huh.
Let's try.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay, sir. Yeah.
Working fine for everyone. Others also. Tanvir, Vijay.
Yes, Amadin.
Ah. So this was about the user form. Now, let us say I have designed the user form, then even the calculations are working fine. I close the Visual Basic Editor. Okay. Now, how will you call the user form? Because you might be designing the user form for yourself or maybe a different user. Now that end user may not understand how to go to the Visual Basic Editor and run the user form. Okay, you can't expect him to go to the Visual Basic Editor and run it every time. So how will I run this? If I close the Visual Basic Editor, how will you display that user form again?
What's up?
Will
Can
it?
you repeat?
Pardon?
No, I didn't get. Can you repeat?
See, now how will I display that user form again? So we displayed the user form when we were in the Visual Basic Editor. I click on the play button when you're in the Visual Basic Editor, and you can see the user form. You enter the data, click on calculation, save. It will be saved in the Excel sheet. But
Okay.
suppose I close the Visual Basic Editor. I close the Visual Basic Editor. Now how will I run or display the user form again? You can't expect the user to go to the Visual Basic Editor and run it. He may not have the knowledge for that.
Okay.
If I go to that macro list window, will it display the user form? Let us see. So even if I scroll down, you will see that the user form is not displayed here. So user forms will not be displayed here in the macro list window. The macro list window will display only the subroutines. Even the functions will not be displayed here. Then how will you display the user form? The user form can be called only through a subroutine. Okay. So we'll go to the Visual Basic Editor, insert module, and I'll give the name as sub call form. You can give any name. I'm giving the name call form. And to call the user form, I'll write user form 1 dot show. Okay. Now I can assign this call form to a button or in the tab, or you can give a shortcut key. It is simply user form 1 dot show. So what we'll do is we'll call it in the tab. We have already created a tab called as Excel for all. We'll call it here. So I'll go to File, Options, Customize ribbon. Click on that group of forms. Now how will you assign the macro? You click on the drop down of popular commands, macros. So call form and click on add. We'll also change the icon of this. Click on rename and you can select any icon from here. Now you can see that when I click on Excel for all, you can see there is a new macro called as call form. I'll click on that and you see that this form is getting displayed.
Sir, can you go to that program, sir?
The statement, the program statement.
Yeah, yes, subroutine.
Just 1 minute.
Okay, user form 1.show. That's it, sir. There is nothing to write here, right?
No, see, our user form name is user form. If you see here, you can see forms, user form 1. So just user form dot show. That means display that user form on the screen.
Okay.
And you can assign it to the tab, or you can also assign it to a button also. If you want to assign it to a button, we can have a button the top here. You can assign it to a button or even a shape. You can select any shape from here. And how do you assign the macro to a shape? Select the shape, right click, assign macro, and you select call form. You can so directly type inside this. Now if I click on this, you will see that the form is getting displayed. Okay, even that can be. Okay, clear everyone?
Yes, sir.
Now the next topic is add-ins. Now you must already heard about some add-ins called as Power Pivot or Solver, right? See, Solver is an add-in which is similar to GoalSeek, right? So if I want to add display that add-in called as Solver, so add-ins are programs that are not a part of your Excel application. When the Excel application was introduced, add-ins was not a part. So add-ins are portable programs which are written by a third party, and they are integrated in the Excel application. Now, for example, this solver, it is not a part of your Excel application, original Excel application. It has been integrated after that. So if you want to install that add-in, you go to File, then Options, Add-ins. When I click on add-ins, you will get a interface like this. Now this solver, that is called as a Excel add-in. You also have a COM add-in. COM add-in is, example of COM add-in is your Power Pivot. Okay, that is a COM add-in. Now if I select this Excel add-in and click on Go, we will get a window like this, which displays all the Excel add-ins. Now suppose I select this solver add-in and click on OK. What this will do is, this will install the add-in called as solver. After this, now if I click on the data tab, you will see that there is a add-in called as solver. Okay, this is a solver add-in. Now if I click on that, we'll get a window like this. So this is that program for solver.
Sir, can you repeat, sir? I didn't get it.
See, add-ins are third-party programs. They are not a part of your Excel application.
Okay.
Okay. Now solver is a program that is similar to your goal seek. If you want to find the unknown factor, then we need to use the solver for that. So you can see here under the data tab, I have this solver program. Now
How
if
to
I go to
create the solver?
so you need to go to File, Options, Add-ins. Then you'll get Manage Excel Add-ins at the bottom. You just click on Go, check that solver, and click on OK. It will automatically install.
Okay.
And if I uncheck this and click on OK, that will be uninstalled. Okay. Like this, we can also create our own add-ins. Now the advantage of creating add-ins is that it becomes portable. Now for example here, you have written so many modules here, right? Let us take the example of that data consolidation. Okay. So this particular module, this will work only in this particular system for any Excel workbook, but it will work only for this particular PC or laptop. Now if I want to run the same program on a different machine, on a different laptop, then what I need to do is I need to copy this. Okay. Copy this, paste it in a notepad, copy that notepad file, go to the other laptop, go to the visual, open the Visual Basic editor of that, and then paste it. So I need to copy and paste it every time. Now the advantage of creating add-in is that it becomes very portable. You just copy the add-in, go to the other system and paste it, and then you install it, and it will work on any system. So we'll see how to create an add-in. If you want, you can just watch on the screen, understand it, then you can try it on your own. What we are going to do is, we have this function which calculates the tax. Okay. Now what we'll do is, we'll create an add-in of this so that this function will be available for any system, not only for this particular system, but any system. So let us see how to do that. So my function is known as iTax. Okay. So before that, I already have some other tax programs. I will remove that. Okay. So what I'll do is, to create an add-in, I select this function iTax, copy it, Control C, and paste it in a notepad. Okay, and minimize it. Then I'll close this particular Excel application and open a blank Excel file. Open a blank Excel file. Go to the Visual Basic editor of that and paste that in a new module. Now you see that these statements are commented, so I need to uncomment it. So I'll select all this and uncomment it. This much is clear. I just copied and pasted the statements of that tax from our Excel application to a new Excel file. Then I'll go to File, Save As. Now I need to save it as an add-in. By default, when you save it as add-in, it will go to a hidden folder. So to prevent that, I will select the location where I want to save it. So in this case, I will save it in my desktop. And this, I'll name it as IND tax. And save as type will be what? Add-in. So just click on that drop down of save as type. And if you scroll down, you can see there is option called as Excel add-in. Excel AM. Okay, that is a extension of that Excel add-in. You'll see that when I save it as Excel add-in, on the top you can see app data, roaming, Microsoft, add-ins. That is a hidden folder, which can be very difficult to find. So you save it in a location where you can easily find it. So I'm saving it in my folder, that is Excel VBA. Now I saved it as add-in. After that, you close this Excel workbook. Now when you close it, it will again ask, do you want to save? Now you don't save it because we have already saved it as a add-in. There is no need to save it again. Now, if I want to run that in any Excel sheet, any Excel workbook, I'll open it, open a blank Excel sheet. Now first I need to install that add-in. How do you install it? You go to File, Options, Add-ins, Excel add-in, and from here you need to browse. Browse and select the path where you have saved it. So in my case, I have saved it in desktop. And you can see there is a add-in called as int tax SLAN. That is the add-in. And click on OK. Now if you see a check mark and the name, that means it has been installed in this particular system. Now this will work for any Excel file that you open. So if I type the gross, equals, you can see it has come in the drop down, the function name. Another function will work for this particular workbook. Any workbook you open, for that this function will be available. Suppose I want to uninstall it. Again, you can go to File, Options, Add-ins, and you uncheck this. The moment you uncheck it and click on OK, it will be uninstalled. Okay. Now suppose I run the same function, this will give a name error because it is no longer available. And even if I again check it, again it will be installed. Okay. So the advantage is that now suppose I want to use the same function in a different system, I just need to copy this file and install it. I just need to copy this iTax and browse and install it. Go to add-ins and browse for it and install it. Okay. So the advantage is that it becomes portable. Only thing you need to remember is that once you save it as an add-in and then you save the workbook again, it lasts whether you want to save the workbook. At that time you don't save it because I already saved it as a add-in. Clear? Yes?
Yeah, it's
Huh.
not that much. It's partially having some doubts. How to copy and paste the
Statement.
program? Yeah, statements.
Just go to the Visual Basic Editor, copy all the statements and paste it in a notepad. Then close that Excel file. Again, select that statement from the notepad. Go to the new Excel file, Visual Basic Editor of that new Excel file and paste it. Normal copy paste. You are pasting it in a notepad just for to be on the safe side. Okay, you can also copy it directly from that Excel sheet. Go to the Visual Basic Editor where you have written the program, copy it, close it, open a new Excel file, go to the Visual Basic Editor of that and paste it. But sometimes when you close and reopen the Excel file, those statements that you have copied might be lost. There is a possibility. So to be on the safe side, we are pasting it temporarily on a notepad, then copying and pasting the same thing in that Visual Basic Editor of the another Excel file. This is an intermediate step, that's all.
Okay. So after that, so we need to add in right now, sir?
You need to save it as an add-in.
Okay,
Once you save it as add-in, close the Excel file, don't save it. Then you open a blank Excel sheet, go to Files.
Go to Files and Options again.
Go to
in add-ins. Yeah.
Right. Go to File, Options, Add-ins. Click on Go. And then click on Browse and select the path where you have saved it.
Okay.
Then click on OK. And if it has been installed correctly, you will see that name here and there will be a check mark. That means it has been installed.
Okay. So then it will be highlighted in all the each over Excel, right?
Right. All your file, all your workbook. It will be available for all the workbooks, not only for the current.
This is only for functions or even for
even for
also we can.
Even for subroutines. It can be used. Yes. Now this form that we have
also we can do it.
Correct. Now the form that we have created, even that can be saved as add-in.
Okay.
Okay, so this was about user forms and add-ins. Now the topic, as far as the topics are concerned, the topics are over. Now what is remaining is the assignment. Okay, I'll tell you brief what the assignment should do. Now in the files that I have sent you across, there is a folder called as assignment. Okay, if you open that, you will find there is a PDF file and there is a Excel file. First I'll open the PDF. So when I open the program, it should display a opening screen like this. There is something called as a trial balance. Okay, trial balance. When I click on the trial balance, it should display. Okay, that form is not displayed here. I'll show the Excel of this also. Okay, there is a balance sheet. Now this is the profit and loss account. This is the balance sheet. ABC Enterprise. There is the balance sheet, and okay. I'll display the Excel. There is the opening screen. Now when I click on this trial balance, it should display a form like this, where I can enter the account title. Let us say salary. Account head will be expenses, and the amount 1,15,000. And when I click on submit, it should be saved here in this my TB. My TB is my trial balance. So here you can see the entry that I did. It has been saved here. Okay. Likewise, when I click on P&L account, profit and loss account, it should automatically create a report like this. And when I click on balance sheet, it should create a balance sheet like this. And when I click on mail as PDF, that P&L account and balance sheet which we have generated should be saved as a PDF, and then it should be sent through mail. And when I click on exit, it should come out of the program. So for this, what I have sent across is this particular file. We'll have this particular file which has 3 sheets: data to be entered, my TB, my trial balance, and account heads. Okay. Now this additional sheets has to be created. We need to create this particular opening screen, then this user form, okay, then the P&L account. Fine. This will be the assignment. We'll do it together. Okay, don't worry. So now what we'll do is, it is almost 11:30. We'll take a break. After the break, we'll do the assignment. Fine with everyone?
Okay, sir.
Okay.
So it is almost 11:30. We'll again resume at 11:45, 15 minutes, and then we'll do the assignment.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.